What is going on, my reefing fam? March here. This is Fragbox TV. Hello, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to us. We're back from Nashville, back from Chattanooga. We're going to go check out reef stock for the first time. That was a lot of fun. And now we're back in the shop. So I want to give you a little bit of an update just because I feel like I haven't been home in such a long time. Couple things as I walk through the video. Please disregard the mess that is the store. We're shipping out a lot of Reef Casa orders. There's still a couple days left to get on the free shipping special we have for Labor Day. How many do you think we shipped today? A dozen, yeah. It's a lot of tanks. Not including the ones we did over the weekend, not including the ones that are coming to AAC. If you guys are in England, what up, Reefing Fam UK, say, if you guys see Paul, tell that wanker that I love him. And we sent him a bunch of stuff that he doesn't even know is coming. There's some free samples in there, some of the glue, some of the, like, you know, I like sharing this stuff with you. You know, when I make something new, like we call this our invisible frag rack, I don't want this whole channel just to become like a, you know, look at us, buy Reef Casa, but it's sort of at the forefront of my mind. It's what I do when I go home. It's really brought me a lot of joy and fun, and it's finally something that we can share with you guys, because you always hear me say in the videos, we cannot send you corals if you do not live in Canada. Logistically, it's not going to happen. It's not feasible. It's not legal. It's not cheap. There's just so much involved. Just the paperwork alone. Once they're here, they're really not leaving here. But these things, these can go anywhere. These are non-perishable products that are not covered by any sort of government legislation. Anyways, just wanted to get that out of the way. Let me show you what's going on this side of the store, because I don't stop or sleep. It's kind of like the cursing and blessing that is ADHD. As soon as one thing is done, I have like just a list of improvement projects. So we need a new sink. It's just sort of wear and tear, I think, with any store, but even more so when you're dealing with salt water. And I'm just on this crazy organization bandwagon. So I just like when everything has a spot. You know, I just want to open it and I want to be greeted with nets and cleaning stuff. So that's going to be our new sink that's going in there. And that's taking up most of my day and time right now, because you got to move some plumbing and some electrical, and I got to get into it. After that, this is coming down. This entire system here, this is what we call basically our fish system, which is quite small. I want to offer a little bit more captive bred fish, but I really want to get organized with our macroalgae. So actually from here all the way to there, we're going to have a custom 6-foot 3-tier system built. I'm going to document and show you guys that as we go along, and I want more. I become macroalgae obsessed. I want all of them. I want to collect them. I want to organize them, and I also want a spot in the store where we can grow them, because right now it's sort of a free-for-all. It doesn't really work. It's the opposite of everything that I stand for here in the store. I pride myself on like organization, kind of like this. You know, see our tanks? Everything here more or less correlates, these numbers correlate to a spot on our website with a price, because I like organization, I like transparency, and I like kind of being like a modern techie kind of coral shop. One of the next things I'm working on after that, you see, this is what I mean by blessing and curse. That's going to take some time, but I want a very easy way for customers to see the prices. So over in this tank here, we've converted more or less to this row kind of system. So if you guys have come in the store and you're local, you see like row 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34. You know, I'm trying to move away a little bit from what you see is what you get. I know that you guys want it, and we've been doing it for so long, but it's hard to explain how labor intensive it is to take photos of each individual coral. Like it takes a lot of my time. When I look at where my time goes in the store, when we're without a photographer like we are right now, it takes a lot of time to go through this tank and individually take photos of each coral, edit, crop, upload, name, description, price, in stock. It takes a lot of my week. So it also doesn't make sense to do it when a lot of the frags are more or less identical. So what do I mean by that? Our Blastomussa merlettis, look at them. They're all beautiful. They're all multi-head. If I sent you, you know, that one, I think as a customer, you'd be happy. And so we're kind of moving away. Why am I going to take one photo of that one? What you see is what you get. when they're all more or less the same. And a lot of times if we have one, we have a lot, because a lot of the corals here in the store we are selling. The ones that we're selling, are ones that we've grown, or we've made many frags from a larger colony. So an example of that would be, like an acan here, which will frag up, and then we get 20 or 25 frags out of it. Look at them. And they're more or less the same. So I'm moving towards this sort of row system. But the problem is the pricing. It just says row 54, which doesn't tell a customer very much. It also doesn't tell you the name of the coral. It doesn't tell you where to stick it. It doesn't tell you how much you're gonna spend to take it home with you. So this iPad is gonna go. If you guys haven't noticed, if you're new to the channel, I do these very long-winded things. I have somewhere I want to get to in my mind, and then I kind of take the scenic route. But I promise I almost always come back to where I started. So I'm gonna get rid of this iPad here, and then I'm gonna set up a screen. There's I actually saw it the other day at an Asian mall here in Toronto called Pacific Mall, and my girlfriend wanted some bubble tea, and they just had the perfect little 30-inch by 16-inch interactive little menu, and that's what I'm going to set up here. I'm going to take that bubble tea idea and I'm going to apply it to our system, so that if you're looking at number 56, you can very easily, very quickly cross-reference that number with a sheet here. Right now we're doing a sort of scan for price thing, which some people are getting used to and they like, but I find it a little bit slow, and I personally hate QR codes. Okay, I don't know what it is about them. Give me a menu. When I go into a restaurant, I wanna feel it. There's something nice about that tactile touch in a menu. Am I wrong? Is it just me? I feel like I'm just a crazy man talking to myself, which I am, but you guys hopefully are listening. Anyways, QR code. I want to move away from those, and I would like to just have them, the prices here on display at all times. Alveopora. You know what? You're not my friend today. You were my friend the other day, and now look at this. Let me show you a little bit of the good, a little bit of the bad. This colony here took a very much turn for the worst, and I have to say, not to toot our horn here, we did every single possible precaution to keep this frag looking good. We took the bandsaw. This is actually an idea that I got back from Chattanooga. I was talking to someone because I had a few algae and goni frags that I had made that just did not do well at all. And so what he suggested was clean your bandsaw. I mean, really clean it. And then when you're fragging, frag that one piece and don't frag anything else for the rest of the day. And then he goes as far to even take the gonies and have them in dedicated systems. So he's convinced that there's a lot of bacteria at play, which he's probably right, maybe bacterial infections when you cut it. So he's growing and selling these amaze ball. They're actually, I'm not trying to be funny, that's the name of it, amaze ball goniopora, and they really are amaze ball. But he has them dedicated to one system per goni, which is crazy, but the price is also crazy. They're selling for $500 US, so it's almost, it's worth it. It makes sense to set up a tank dedicated to just doing one coral like that. So we took the bandsaw, I cleaned it in muriatic acid, we washed the crap out of it, I let it dry, new blade, new parts. This thing was sterile. I could frag off a human finger if I wanted to with it. It was so clean, and still, look at that. So what's the whole point of what I'm saying? Don't get, what's the lesson here, kids? Even, I'm not sure yet. You know what, we'll come back to that. No, I'm trying to say that, we've been doing this a long time. We've fragged thousands and thousands of corals. Sometimes it's just not meant to be, even with all the precautions. Sometimes a coral just says, bye-bye. Like at home, I just lost a pulsing xenia for whatever reason. I can't figure out why. Our Red Sea Reefer 250 has completely changed. If you guys have noticed, we just did that video. We were taking it down, help us decide what's going to go next. But look at this. What is going on? Kavina, the lovely Kavina that works here. She doesn't get any screen time really because she's shy. And she's away. She went on vacation for 2 months. She's in Thailand, and then she's going to, I think, Laos and Japan. And this is all her corals from home. In her, believe it or not, this is a 60-gallon. She had all of this in a Reef Casa 24-gallon Laguna, the same one that I have at home. If you guys have seen the videos I do in my basement, I don't know how she did it. Actually, I went to go visit. It was the most cram-packed. It was nonsense. Like, she basically ran out of room on all the rock. So she started doing these like floating rocks to the point where all the glass was covered in, like, look at how amazing this is. It actually looked incredible, but she's going away for 2.5 months. I said, Kavina, who's watching it? Her boyfriend. He can't do it. Sorry. You know what? If he's watching, Santa, you do a great job. But with so much on the line, like, actually, this is just some of it. This is hers too. She had 2 tanks. I said, just bring it to the store. Just bring everything over here. Let us watch it for you. You know, so many people go away on vacation and then they come back to nothing. They come back to absolute death. This is pretty cool too. Look what she's done here. It looks like, you know, if you didn't see the clowns, it looks like a freshwater planted tank. But then we don't have any freshwater Ocellaris now, do we? This is Chompy. I actually hate this fish. He is very, very aggressive. And she took him home, and for some reason he only bites me, but whatever. It's pretty cool what she's done. Macroalgae dominated, and it's actually inspired something new that I'm working on. And we'll talk about that maybe at a later date. But it's pretty cool. Maybe let us know what you guys think about this really, really macro dominated tank. I didn't even notice she had that blue, extra large blue hermit. Okay, so on that topic about going away, top things I see, top issues with when people go away and when tanks take a real turn for the worse. Number one thing, and it's gonna seem so simple and it's gonna seem so like obvious, like sure, but it's this is the number one issue I see. They go away, they leave the tank with friends and family, and they overfeed. They think they're helping you when you're on the beach enjoying your margarita in Costa Rica or the Dominican Republic or wherever you are. They think they're helping you by feeding your fish, and they feed too much, and it ends up polluting the water, and I see it happen all the time. And so then people will go out and, you know, get an auto feeder. Same thing. You know, if it's not set properly, a lot of people come here that don't make any changes to your tank if you're going away. They'll go and pick up an auto feeder or an ATO. They've never used one before, throw it on the tank, and then drive to the airport and hope for the best. Don't do that. That's number one and number 2 issues I see is overfeeding and making changes. And you know, if you're gonna leave your tank to someone who's not super experienced to watch over it, less is more. Do not try and train them how to water change. You know, right before you leave, your tank will be fine. You measure out the food. You know, you have maybe some grandparents or older people in your life, or maybe you measure out meds that you take, and you know those little things that have like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You know what I'm talking about. What are they called? What are those things called? You know, like measuring things for pills. Anyways, pill organization. Do that, but for food, for whoever's watching your tank. So literally, they can't screw it up. Put this much food in the tank and don't do anything else. I usually recommend taking out filter floss. Don't run any mechanical filtration, because you can run into issues with that. And just let it be. Why do I say filter floss? Because if it gets clogged, like ours here in the basement, here, let me show you. Let me go down to the haunted basement really quick and show you what would happen if I put filter floss and no one changed it. It happens here maybe like once a month. Somebody puts too much. We have this one spot where we put it right in here. And if it gets really, really clogged, you know, the staff is supposed to leave a little bit of a gap in the event that it gets really clogged, like right, see, kind of right down there, that little gap, that's just enough for water to pass. But if it becomes completely clogged, the water level is going to come up, and water will actually jump over and out of the sump. So we have some protocols in place, but sometimes they put too much, and if we miss it, if we don't change it every day or every other day, we actually get some water. So it is sort of my fault because I've sort of designed it that way. Not sort of, I'm saying sort of a lot. It is my fault because I've designed the whole store. So it really shouldn't happen because it means I have failed myself and the staff. But little things like that. So if there was no filter floss, that couldn't happen. I've seen that screw up people's tanks quite a few times. So just take that out. Your tank will be fine. Again, no water change, no filter floss. What is going on in the basement here? I am trying to color up acro with a new sort of homemade Reef Casa prototype LED light with some T5s and some Reef Brights, like a very powerful monstrosity Frankenstein hybridization, and it seems to be going pretty well. I'm pretty happy with the color. I have lost a few pieces recently to an elk swing. That's something we've always kind of just struggled with here in the store because we are growing and selling out of the same system. So some days we'll pull out so much water and we'll add back in a bunch of salt water, and we're using reef crystals. Well, this one here. And the alkalinity is quite high, so it's like adding a lot of alk back into the water. But yeah, other than that, we're switching our racks over to these because I find that they're way easier to clean. I'm done with Egg Crate. Goodbye, Egg Crate. It was nice for about 12 years, but we have found a better match, and it is this laser cut acrylic, and I'm very happy with it, and it really appeals to everything that I'm trying to strive and do here in the store. I know you guys have asked for video before, like a basement tour. Maybe I haven't done it because I'm not so excited about it. I see just problems. You know, when other people come down here, I can see that they think it's cool, but my eye is always drawn to the issues. So that's it. It's hard for me to do a video on like fake excitement, you know, and I don't want to do it just because. But if you guys really want one and you ask enough times, I will give you a full sort of breakdown and understanding on how the system works and how I have put it together. It looks like chaos, and it is in a way, but it's an organized chaos. Like this part here, really no one's allowed to touch. This is this is the brain of the store. But it's nothing, there's no real secrets or big tricks going on here. It's just good equipment, good quality equipment, good protocols, good staff, good products, stuff that we've used for a long time, like ESV for dosing, reef crystals we've just gone back to for salt, T5s, I'm still a big believer, but you won't be able to get those bulbs soon. Let me go back upstairs actually. Yeah, so what I was saying, T5 bulbs, they're going to be discontinued. So if you want to keep using them, stock up now on those bulbs while you can. Get your blue pluses, order them for the next 5-10 years because they ain't going to be around much longer. Other than that, there's two pretty big changes in the store. There are a few other ones on my list, like this reefer. When Kavina gets back, I am on the fence about just taking it down entirely, but I'm not sure what's going to go in its spot. Yeah, not 100% sure. Other than that, I think that's it. I think that's pretty good for updates. I think we gave you a pretty good rundown of what's new in the box. If you guys ever, like I said in the basement, if you want to see a video in particular, let us know in the comments. Let me know what you want to see, because many of the videos we've done, we've pulled from your comments. Reef Crystal Salt, actually, before we go, I'll let you know that if you come in, the buckets are on sale. You can save 20%. It is the salt we are now using again in the shop. I like it. It's stable. It's actually the salt that Eye Catching Coral uses. It's actually the salt that Tidal Gardens uses. It's actually the salt that Reef Raft Canada used to use. And it's good. It's cheap. It's a little bit dirty, but it's consistent. Not to say that, you know, Red Sea salt is not good. Aquaforest, also great salt, but it just happens to be the one that we're using now. Okay, I think we'll leave you with that. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. And I hope to see you back here on the next episode of Fragbox TV. Bye for now.